It's the 19th. Tuesday the 19th. And we cremated Dad yesterday. It was his funeral yesterday. And it was lovely. It was a really nice, I never know what the right word for that is, because it's not an event, but we, the family, we went down to the Chapel of Rest. It was me, Mark, Jeanette and Mum, and we spent an hour or so with him in the open casket, and that was hard. That was really hard. He's been dead for 18 days and obviously kept cold, and it was tough, was that. He was just so cold. For me, it just didn't feel like him anymore. His eyes were kind of sullen and sunken, further into his skull. He just looked more skeletal and bruised, actually. His arms were quite bruised, but that had started to come out before he passed anyway. But it was lovely. We had a really nice time, talking with him as though he was in the room, telling him about what things that were going on in our lives, and reminiscing about the good things he'd done as a person, and all the comments that had been on the Facebook page, photos of Filey group. There were so many people that commented on that and had memories of him. And the ones that really touched me were the ones of when he was an ambulance driver and he'd helped deliver kids, bring kids into the world. I'd wondered about that, There's a part of him will always kind of exist in the fact that he's helped other people survive in life and be brought into the world. And there's something really beautiful about that. So yeah, we went through, Jeanette had printed out a load of the more poignant comments out that people have made, the messages that people have sent and so on. And we read some of those out to him. Mark read some of those out to him. And we left all those in his coffin. And, to go with him. Mum was understandably upset. Well, we all were, but I think it was good for Mum to see him that way, and to create an end point that we can then move on from, for all of us, and then when we left there, we went home for an hour, had a bite to eat, and then we went back down and we followed the hearse to the crematorium. And what was really wonderful was quite a lot of people, because we'd made a public announcement about it, a lot of people that knew him came out and lined the streets on the route through Filey, and that had me in tears. There was one of his ex-ambulance colleagues stood by the curbside and saluted as he went past. And there was all his friends from his morning walks, they were all out. There was his friends from the con club at the bottom of the croft where we live. There were just loads of people out. It was lovely, it was really lovely. And it was all we could really do given that we're in this pandemic, time of this pandemic. And I was going to read out a poem that I wrote for him on his 70th birthday. I just couldn't bring myself to do it because I just thought I'm probably going to end up choking up, and I don't think I'd have got through it. But I've got that with me now, a photo of it, and I thought as a as a final piece, I thought I'd read it here now. It's called That Dad's Mine. You have always been there for me, come wind, rain, hail or shine, and I have never been prouder to say to others, that dad's mine. I'm sure you remember when I was little, we used to rough and tumble, you teaching me on the living room floor, sweaty bodies all in a jumble. We'd go for long walks across the beach, you, mum, teaching me, calling at the pub on our way home, a pint for you and a coke for me. You were always there for me, come wind, rain, hail or shine. And as a kid I was always happy to say to others, that dad's mine. As a troubled teen I was too terrified to tell you what I was going through. And for many a year I kind of disappeared, lost, hidden away in my room. You'd ask, do you fancy a pint, son? And inside I'd just laugh and sneer. No thanks, Dad, I'd say, with a frown on my face. What, go with my dad for a beer? Yet you were always there for me, come wind, rain, hail or shine. But I felt too embarrassed to say to others, that dad's mine. Older I got, and wiser, perhaps not. But one day when you asked, I said yes. We went for a beer and it flowed with good cheer, and I realised that you were the best. It became our regular outing, con club on a Friday night. We'd sink a few johns, then eat pizza from tons, staggering home, oh what a sight. You were always there for me, come wind, rain, hail or shine, and I was feeling quite proud to say to others, that dad's mine. It's been a good few years since our Friday night beers, precious moments blown by on a breeze. There's no greater man of who I am a fan. With you I'm relaxed and at ease. I miss those good nights when we'd put the world right. Oh, and we were so right, of course. Now you're 70 today, and it's ironic to say I'm at a loss for words because you have always been there for me, come wind, rain, hail or shine. And I have never been prouder to say to others, that dad's mine. I can barely get through that here. You can imagine what it would have been like there. Oh God. So yeah, that was the final leg in his journey yesterday. It was touching and poignant. And now it's all about what happens with Mum. Jeanette and Mark are getting ready to take her to Halifax, to stay with them for a bit. We don't know whether that's going to be a long-term arrangement. The hope is that she'll settle there, and yeah, there's just quite a lot to sort out, so I've come out early just to have a little walk and just wrap this story up, really. I'll see you later, Dad.